All right. So, yesterday, yesterday or day before yesterday, over the weekend, I saw, as I expected to see, moving forward, I saw, oh, the grass. I saw um, some more errant gladiolus in the side bed, which I call the triangle bed, and the side bed. So I'm going to show you where it is. I'm going to talk about my plans. I'm going to move those over. I think I also want to use. I also want to put one of those metal things in the ground to outline this side because I like the little idea of the burst of daffodil on the corner. Uh, but there's a lot of grass invading that, and that's fine because I can always take out the grass with the hoe. La da da da. It's gonna be work, whatever. I'm not. I don't know how soon I'll do it. Also because I don't have anything to put there. Like my idea is let me outcompete with plants, and probably this year I'll be using a lot of cardboard in addition to just plants. To, mulch around it. A lot of that. So let me show you. First of all, look at this grass, right? It's gonna get green real fast. This whole strip, I don't know why it's very bare. Um, I do think that's one of the septic field trenches because the tank is like over here. I think it jets out like 5 foot. It jets out 5 foot from the tank, and then it's like 60 feet. It's 3 rows of 60 feet. And I don't know if it's that each row is 9 inches, excuse me, 9 feet from the other one, or just between the three, it's 9 feet across. I feel like it's probably the latter, but I have to go and check again. Anyway, grass, and I'm looking through, you know, my sunglasses, but I'm sure it looks the same. It's just really sunny right now. Grass. Okay, last year I had, I think, 4 verbena. They were planted kind of late, but I had them and they grew at some point. I don't want the grass spreading over. That's when I'll lose my mind kind of. And so I want to come and trench out um, over the edge or edge out a line here that gently curves here. I don't know that I'll continue the line because I like the look of the branches right now as a border, but if I have to, I will. I really wanted something to cut the metal. I don't have anything to cut the metal. I took out weeks ago. I took out the grass from here. It was a whole thing. It was a lot of mounded grass over uh, at least years of decomposed mulch, and every now and then there's some grass under the skirting. Okay, and you can see how much was taken out because this little dip here is not level with the edge of the skirting. Okay, my idea is pavers. Okay, and we have 3 pavers, so it can be 3 inches across, just mean 3 feet across, but there's a gap there. It can also be maybe two and maybe some type of rock in between. So I just want some sand to level out a little bit, like that one right there is almost level with the end of the undersiding. I forget what you call it, but it dips a bit towards the middle. So that's not, I don't necessarily need a lot of sand. That's enough to level it. Um, and I think once I have more of a level, then it won't necessarily sink all over the place. Maybe another idea had been something about concrete, blah, 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 but I don't know how permanent or not that is. And also, if eventually, which I think was the thing mentioned initially, if eventually the idea is, to swap out the vinyl for like a more permanent brick facade, I don't want to do something so permanent like concrete, where it's like, then you have to dig it up, blah, blah, blah. Who knows? Um, so in my mind, I like pavers, but there's also like a lot of grass left here that's coming back up. So I have to get on top of that, but we do have a hoe, and I'll probably just be using that later on. I assume it's because when I took out all the weeds here, there are a lot of uneven spots left over here, but I keep having to straighten out that clematis. I don't really yet have a replacement for anything over here. It's just kind of barren, but I guess I'll just keep on top of it in terms of like big clumps of stuff. Anyway, so it's uneven. But look at how much, this is wildness. This is a lot of growth for a couple days. And so, look at Mr. Fly. Straighten it out every now and then. On the one hand, I'm happy that this hasn't done much around this because it gives me the option to find something else to make so it could climb up, right? This is pretty and all. I don't know how well this is going to do. It looks like maybe I had pushed in some of the cardboard because some of them are coming up over the gladiolus. But you know what? It's okay. It's fine. Um, Fight for your life. Okay. You can see from over here behind the grill the stand of blueberries. And now that we know where they are, and now that access will be maintained to them via, a clear mowing of the area, I don't know how much they'll last. I know my sisters like blueberries. I know my nephew likes blueberries. So I guess we'll be seeing. Here's my Matilda Gutgez um, hydrangea. Yeah, she's doing real lovely this year. This right here, southern exposure, eastern exposure, not so much like the hottest, I don't think, exposure. That's kind of at an angle to block the exposure over here. And not really so much western exposure because of its low lying. There's stuff over there to block more of everything and get in the house. So it gets sunlight, but it's not super crazy. I would love to have some hydrangeas in the front. I really have to go back and look into what is considered shallow rooted and whatnot. I still want to finish that greenhouse ASAP. Ugh, as I wait for some drier days. Yeah. Is that too close? Ugh. That might be too... Anyway, that might be too close. Okay, but before I start with the gladiolus, look at how nicely post-pruning this is filling out. Okay? She looks so great. I have to figure out if I need to cut back the Artemisia. There's a lot of growth at the base. How is it going to work? I feel like I have to. Ugh. Okay, so last year I started out with the paver border, which I'm going to continue. It continues on in line with the metal border. Well, actually, it's my initial thought is I was going to continue it, and I was probably going to have to come out and edge a little bit in front of the lavender, And I thought I had to prove the lavender now, but I've been looking at different things, and the whole thing is, wait till after it blooms. But then also, you don't want it to get too woody. It's kind of woody. It is kind of woody at the base. Okay, maybe I do have to prune it. Anyway, and so one of these I do have to come over here with a hoe. I think it's the hoe. And clear out all this mulch that's been invaded by the grass, blah, blah, blah. Lay some new stuff down, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so this initially was a lot of gladiolus over here and some zinnias that seeded themselves. And then, last year, I added the yarrow. That's not so much this area. The yarrow, I think the year before, the daylily, a bunch of the Shasta daisies, blah, blah, blah. And I had this one African daisy. It was very lovely, fantastic. So over here, we have a bunch of gladiolus. I got one, a couple over there. I know I saw one over here. Oh, two over here. And so I'm going to dig these up. Oh, another one over there in front of the other one. I'm going to dig these up, transfer them to the front. Now, because there's nothing really permanent over here, nothing in ground, we don't have any mums or roses over here. A lot, and like I said, a lot of annuals, no perennials over here. I end up a lot of time just walking through this, or even just covering stuff over here with it. My idea now is that this will be interrupted. I'll have a little walkway here. Ooh, I did just look it up. Okay. Eventually I gotta come back with some concrete and fix this up. But I'll walk through here, right? Because this is my little walkway area. There's gonna be a path I need to re-line out over here that goes behind the roses. And so this can intersect that. I I also like as having this between the holly and the hydrangea as a walking path to get to for access, desire paths and whatnot. So whether or not this one will be permanent, remains to be seen. But I am thinking eventually I will be planting a tree here. Probably a little bit farther up, not so close to the hydrangea, but also the lilac. Something that gets narrow and median height, right? Like a no more than 20-foot type. Probably that's what I'm going to do for all these trees over here. Is no more than 20 foot is my idea. Um, but anyway, so that's my walkway path idea. So now I'm going to dig up the gladiolas. Um, well, as soon as I can, as soon as I can, either I might just use pine cones actually to to mulch my desired path walkway, right? And I do like it wide over here, but I'm probably going to push this in a bit. Anyway, ooh, look at the lilac. Look at the lilac. So probably next year I'll probably come in and prune on the inside. This is growth towards the inside. Yeah, it's on the inside, this one. But it's so pretty. If only I could put something to like stretch them out. But anyway, I'll probably come next year and do that. Yeah, I hope she goes really well this year. She got transplanted in her last year. Last year was, let's consider it, a shock year. Okay. Okay. Yeah. In my heart of hearts, I do want to, when I do Google search nowadays, put the minus AI. Apparently, also, if you put like profanity, it also cancels out the AI summary. But I do want to, not use the AI summary so much. But I'm not there yet where it's so common to my practice, innate to my practice to do it. The point is, I Googled, and it does say Artemisia you could cut back for a hard prune when things start to emerge. So at this point, I'm just going to cut it back. I think probably the stems I heard maybe just stick somewhere and maybe they'll grow. I'm going to see and try that, right? Because they have growth along the stem. So we're going to see about that. Maybe I just lay it down and it'll grow. We'll see about that. This is a palace castle. So, for this article I'm reading at the moment on my phone, it's talking about how you shouldn't be pruning Artemisia, or I guess they say shrubby perennial in the winter, especially in the deep south. So I'm gonna do the rest off camera. Yeah. All right. So I pruned a bunch of woody stuff back. There's still woody stuff in the middle. I could probably come back and print it up. I'm not going to though. So these are the ones that I didn't see any growth along the stem. These are the ones I did. So let me show you. Okay. And so we've got that along the way, and you see it's a little bit of green on the outer rim. So my thinking is maybe I can just stick this in the ground. I think these that are over there, I'm going to try and see if they're going to grow on the new border, maybe. Or maybe I'll put some back over there. But it's only like 3 or 4, maybe 5. The rest, I'm going to compost. And hopefully that allows for, some solid growth now. All right. Yeah. I have these 2 papers over here. I kind of forgot I had them. I know I had one. I didn't realize there were 2. I think I had tried to plant something over here. It never really took. There's a lot of grass invasion over here too, so I'll be having to say on how that this year. I do have this white dianthus over here. I think there was supposed to have been a white mom that never really took over here. And there was like a lot of mole activity under this, that they go through this underground, I think. But as long as the plants aren't affected, I don't really care. But obviously over here the plants are affected. So maybe I'll be using that once I clear this up over there. Maybe I'll wait to see if more gladiolas come up before I do anything over there. I'm going to go do that now though. After I go and plant the Artemisia stems and the gladiolas, I might come out today or another day and also trench something with another piece of metal to try and border it up, because there's a lot of grass invasion over here too. Yeah. Do I need to cut this lavender though? Is a question. They say 2 inches above woody growth. This is kind of woody growth. I don't want it to be all empty in the middle. I think I'm going to come in and cut this up probably later on. Actually, let me try and propagate some of these woody stems right here next to this Artemisia that's right next to this. And we can see that over here Some of them have some green, but it's a bit faded. So I'm gonna see if any of them have. I mean, I can just try and stick them in the ground, see if they take. I feel like they will, all of them. So. And so I think I'm probably just gonna end up planting all of it over here, see what takes. I've put 2 on the ground already, 1 and 2. I'm gonna come in the second sweep and do another front. And if this widens that out, so be it, I guess. I know these get pretty big, so, you know, whatever, I guess. Those might be too close. Everything might be too close. But it's if it grows, right? Because there's no guarantee it's going to. So, if it gets too big, I can always just move it. So there's that. Yeah. I also want to point out what I've done. So there are some branches here, and I've just ripped them off. And even the ones I'm not going to put above ground, maybe they'll bend back down and root there. But hopefully everything says, okay, let's do one last push, right? I want to have a little bit of the new growth growing in case, they photosynthesize that way, and it's like, oh, okay, we can establish here. La la la. So let's do that. I think that's where I put the last Artemisia to try and root it up. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all I have, I think, that I cut off that's woody and looks the best. Everything else is secondary. So I can try and plant up the rest of this. I probably will. I don't think it'll do anything, but I will do my best. Yeah. And I probably will maybe move those over there. But I gotta clean that up first. Cut the edger and the other metal piece, blah, blah, blah. So let me try and do that now. Actually, what I'll do is I'm going to take out this African daisy. I don't think it perennialized. Or maybe I won't take it out. Maybe I'll just make space. I'm going to try and put Artemisia there too. That way it's a nice little green border between the yarrow and the daylily and the, what do you call this? Shasta daisies. If this takes, that'll be great and fantastic and free. So on the one hand, I'm bothered because there's a lot to do. There's going to be a lot to do, especially with the weeding. On the other hand, I'm like, things to do, things to keep me busy. So, yeah. I might have to get a mallet for this. I don't know. I tried to dig deep down. I tried to pass over several times. We'll see if it fits. Okay, so I put it in, and I'm like, oh, the space I was thinking was probably like 3 of these papers. And now that I've put it in, I'm like, I can go wider. I can go wider. And so I don't have anything right now to line the other edge, but I can maybe find some sticks and use that temporarily before I find something else, like somebody to use. This is kind of high. I had to kind of put it in, but I think it'll stay, same as the other one kind of stayed. As long as we're minimizing grass invasion, right? And then I'll have my pavers eventually, my stepping stones. I did find more gladiolus, and there is some grass over here amongst the yarrow, so I have to clean that up. But there's like 2 gladiolus. Let me see. There's 1 there and 1 over here. I'm going to dig this up now. I'm going to carry this for the next edge border, whatever. Alright, so I did put a lot more gladiolus down the middle. It's going to be my dividing strip, as it were, between I guess, the sides of the bed. A lot of them are from bulblets. I don't know if they're from last year or the year before last. But there's a lot of small ones, so I don't know that all of them will get really big this year. I just think they do. Gladiolus do pretty well. So just straighten this up right here, even though it'll straighten it by itself. So I have it going all the way down here, and I'm sure more will pop up. And maybe I'll even thin out the other one, who knows. So yeah, I don't think I'll be doing that, getting gladiolus anytime ever again in my life, presumably. And now to do the edge on this side. And so I did, before I did that, when I did come and do the edge, it's going to be a curve. And even though the curve right now comes out past the wood, maybe I could get it to the wood. The wood is kind of like a very mobile border, so that's not super pressing. Also, if the idea is, oh, I need to plant more and more and more, that's fine. I can do that. And that'll give me more space that's not grass, theoretically. All right, so yeah. Right, I dug my trench. These things are not flat. I didn't get them flat. They've been around in the elements, and they've not necessarily gotten flatter. I did try and push it in a bit more because it doesn't look super straight from the other side. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe once this side is built up and it's more like settled, or I find a different option for a border, maybe I'll use something else to. 'Cause I tried to get as even as I can, and you can only push it so much with the brick with holes in it to get it in. But it seems pretty firm in there, and hopefully it just sinks and settles in there. Yeah, so I don't like this blunt edge, but I like the curve. I really do. I really do like the curve, and so I just kind of be putting more sticks up here to try and hide and impede with the blunt edge. I'm not sure if this is. No, this is just. I thought this is more of the sedum. I should have. That was a 4-piece thing of almond joy sedum. I only see the one coming up so far. I'm not sure what this is. I'm sure it's an herb. I'm not sure which one it is. And then I'm questioning whether or not I should dig up I probably will dig up the daffodil and put it in the corner. I think. Yeah. Yeah. I don't want it to impede so much with the Lamochlorosedum. So it's 1, 2, area 2, and area 3. I don't think there's any more. And that's okay. I'm not going to weed today. That's a lot of work. And I'm still got work to do. So, yeah, I'm just going to take the daffodils out. I did uncover this other little bit of Lamochlorosedum. Hopefully everything gets as big as that. Yeah. So it's 3 in the back, 2 in the front, and then 1 in the front. So it's a little triangle. I did all this. I don't even know if I know one of them maybe bloomed. Hopefully we get some more blooms here and there. And I just have time to establish for next year. And then I'm not sure what I'll do for the summer over here. But this whole area is widened immediately. And now when I grow a lot of annuals, like I'm planning to this year, specifically like coleus, or even next up is, what do you call this? Next up is petunias, Or maybe this will be my snapdragon field. Maybe that's the thing to do. Just have the snapdragons here if they all grow, right? I wanted to come back over here because there's a lot of violas here and nothing else coming up in spots besides dianthus. But over spots over here, things are coming up like autumn crossedum. Is this? This kind of looks like it could be. Is this a balm? This looks like a mint. It has to look like oregano or basil, but like what would come up? I'm not sure what comes up here. This is a bee balm. What is that? This should be a salvia. I think I've planted more than one over here, but this is the only one that comes back. Yeah, so I've got my bee balm, my salvia. I'm not yet sure what that is. I Google lensed it real quick. It says it's lemon balm. I don't recall planting lemon balm here, but it half sounds familiar, so I'm not going to say it's not. It does sound relatively familiar that I would plant lemon balm up here. Maybe I can do a lot of herbs up here in the front. I was planning on doing them in the back, but I guess in the ground won't be the worst idea. I don't necessarily think a lot of them up here would spread. The ones like, would I have put lemon balm in the ground? I don't know. Here's one, hardy hydrangea. Second one, that might have been it. It might be dead at this point, or it might send up new growth. And there's a lot of emptiness. So this is why another reason I'm not necessarily yet wanting to move the mums, the 4 mums. Where's the 4th one? Is this it? This is it. This is the 4th mum. Not this. But this is mum 1, 2, 3, and 4. And there's, I think 2 and 3 have spread a lot, have seeded themselves nearby. So that might be a mum area. Got a lot of daylilies, dianthus. Yeah. This bee balm, I think it's going to get really tall. I'm really excited for it. So, yeah. What happened was that I was edging the new path through by where the gladiolus was. And I think my sister called and I had to go inside for something. Also, the phone was dying. So I did other things, but not much else I didn't say I was going to do. So it was, the roots for the African daisy were really well in there, but the whole top looked dead. So I'm like, let me just pull this other thing out and call it dead. I wonder why the roots were so deep in there. Maybe it would have come back. I can either try and grow from seed, or if I happen upon like a really cheap set of some seedlings, because I did like the purple color over here especially. So I did take it out. There's a lot of grass growing in here. So ideally I will be getting some more cardboard and mulch and fixing this up in the hopes that this does root. Or just to mark it out better so that I know where I planted things. But I did end up with the stuff I was going to discard for compost, getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 little sticks I would call as potentials. And so if these were to grow as big as the other ones, that really won't be an issue because this will shade everything out theoretically. We've got the 3 yarrow that are spreading over here. There's still some grass invasion over here that I got to take out. I did try and get the 2 other daylilies I have under a tree. I was actually going to try and split them, but they were hard to get to. There's a lot of pine needle mulch on top, so maybe I could have pulled it back and done that, but oh well. And so I actually was going to go to 4, but when I curved the line, it went to 3. So I just have right now the 4 that were left over, holding down the piece of oak branch that I had lining the bed. And then I put some cardboard down. I'd like to get some more. I want to put something over there, probably the brick I was using this whole time, to hold it down on that side. And yeah, so it's just be an issue of weeding and paying attention to things. I've try and weed around these that are like really in the grass bed. Hopefully as many as possible take. If all of them take, great, fantastic. So essentially this is kind of going to be like another circle bed, but not as separate in an island as that one is. Also over here, I did put another Artemisia over there. So this one, if these were all grow, they'd be really heavy, like dense, and I'd probably have to thin it out at some point. But I've got 1, 2, 3, nothing over here. 3, 4, 5, 6, and then a 7th one over there, and then the dianthus. So hopefully these grow really nice. I would love for these to all grow and then shade out this whole area so we don't have so much grass, la da da da. And then yeah, here's the little walkway. I put the two favors here, and see, an angle isn't so bad. It's kind of high up, arguably, but it's a lot of progress thing. And so this is here, here, here. If I had two other ones, it'd be real nice. Here's where the rose is gonna go. This whole thing is probably a bit too far up, but it's gonna go like this behind the pathway behind the Shasta daisy, like this. Probably another walkway continuing this way through this. Like I said, desire paths, I think is what they call them. So essentially, it's probably going to be like three little island beds. It's going to be, this is over here, pathway separating it from everything else. That's over there, pathway. So over here on this side is probably just going to be a lot of like island type beds. Maybe not so much on that side. Maybe eventually I'll connect them because there's nothing between the lower pedalum and the small goshiki. But essentially right now, that's another island. Island of roses, lavender, mums. I guess this back area, whatever shrubs are and trees, I end up filling this up with an island. That over there is one giant island essentially. Even though I guess arguably the lilies aren't really connected to anything, but in my mind it's essentially one very oddly shaped island that over there. I don't know where the edge for this will be. It's probably gonna be this included, where this is right now, until I decide to plant further in, or further out, I should say. Yeah. And then I did bring some. My mother tried growing some sweet potatoes, and she had some starts growing, but then they kind of just fell by the wayside. So I'm going to use this to fill in the holes by the Artemisia hopeful props. I'm going to go back and get the. Well, I don't need the hand shovel, I guess. Okay, let's do this. All right, so I emptied out the soil all around each spot. I'm probably going to have to really be on top of this in terms of like taking the grass away. And hopefully everything roots real fast and nice. Hopefully everything roots, period. But I do like the idea of this being a very green bed because it'll be green, silverish blue-green. I think that the daylily over here is yellow. The yarrow, I think, are yellow. The strategies are white and yellow. This is empty. This needs to be filled. Either I do go and get the daylilies, I try and dig them up real hard. But right now they're a nice marker for that area, so I already seen other plants. I could try and split it though. Also, I'm not necessarily super fond about like having a big drift of daylilies. If I get more, I get more, but I'm not like, oh my god, I need more daylilies. I really like this. Not only does it save me space on planting, it makes it easier to walk through it. I don't have to feel like, oh my god, I'm killing plants by walking over them. No. Now the question is, do I need to cut back the mums? Let me look that up. So Google does say again to prune it back in the early spring, the old growth in the early spring. So that's what I'm gonna do tonight. Right? Oh, I have to go get the loppers. Okay. Coming back over here, and I'm really excited for the eventual extension or formalization of the path over here. So that's exciting. All right, so I pruned back the mums. Some of them are really crowded by or around, or they have a lot of weeds around them, so I'm not going to do much yet. But I cut it back. There's still a little bit of woodiness left. That's fine. But I'm leaving the, like this one has growth, but not necessarily a crazy lot of mum growth compared to like the weeds around it. So like I'm going to come over here and do like a lot hoeing. But also why I whip it out is because over the camera right now is because I am going to cut back. Not everything is super woody here, but I'm going to cut back because I do see a lot of new growth coming in, and it looks more vibrant than the older growth, so I'm going to cut it back. I know it's like a 2/3 of the way through, but I was talking about like 2 inches above woody growth, but this, I wouldn't necessarily call this woody, not yet. So I think I do want to cut it back, some of them. Like this one is growing, it's tall, but it's not as tall as the other ones. And this one I think has like a lot of grass growth around it, so I'm going to try and hoe around that as well. I did come and prune out the back of this a bit. There's still some parts on the inside that are like not the cleanest. We don't have leaves yet at all. I just say that I can come and prune in. Hold on. Oh no, that has leaves. That doesn't have leaves though. Oh, it does. Okay. Anyway, I pruned it up to where it looks fine for me. So, yeah. My sweet shrub is over here. Um, yeah. She should be fine. I don't see why she wouldn't be. Okay, it's green there. So she's fine. Do I need to prune this? I think it's fine for now. Yeah. Oh, let's check on the pear thing. I don't see any roots anywhere. Oh, but you know what? We do have growth here. Growth everywhere. So, as soon as I see roots, I'm cutting. Are these roots? I don't think so. Look around. I don't see roots anywhere. Things that I'm like, are those roots? Like this could be. That could be roots. It could also be the fiber from the coconut. So I don't know. But why is this one? Why are these like scratched up? Why do they have bigger buds so far? That's interesting. Anyway, the NC Extension website doesn't specify English, French, whatever. Mind you, I think this is English lavender. But it says to prune it when all chance of frost is gone. Our last frost date, despite the very hot temperatures we've been going through, is March 30th. Today is March 17th or 16th. I think it's 17th. So I should be waiting 2 more weeks to prune it. Will that? I don't know. So not only did I cut back the mums, I also dug a ring around this lavender. There was a lot of long pieces of grass going in. So if any new grass starts to invade, I can see it and do all that. Prune it up accordingly. I think these might have flowered very lightly in the fall. I'm not sure. I also want to come with the trimmer and really keep this edge low this whole year. So, yeah. I guess I'll go and cut the mums on the front bed. I think that's it for today over here. These mums aren't as big as I want them to be. Maybe I could move the mums over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I could move the mums over here. I do like the idea of something else in between the mums though. And something else also in between the roses. I don't want to have a path through the roses, but I probably will be just like, maybe we'll have a stepping stone to the roses, or rather through this whole bed is what I mean to say eventually. We'll see, I guess. Yeah. So I think this was a real game changer. I have a better idea of what my planting borders are like. Am I going to plant anything up here? I don't know. If the Artemisia does really well, maybe I will put it over here. I don't know. Or maybe I'll put something else over here. Some type of annuals. I have more space over here where to do. I did also hoe. Is this a hoe? I think this is a hoe. Does it say what it is? Garden hoe, yes. I did also hoe around the this area with the Shasta daisies. I don't want the Shasta daisies getting overtaken by grass. I've got to come and clear up a lot of the grass over here. But I need mulch and or cardboard. So, and then this area. Do I want the daylilies over here? I don't know. Could this be a tree? Could this be a tree spot? Maybe. So this is the edge of the bed. Oof. This is the edge of the bed, right? And it goes a bit past those roses. So I'm thinking tree over there, tree where the holly's dead, maybe tree where that planter is. Maybe this can be a tree. That'd be something, right? That would be interesting. Maybe also another tree in that area, because I don't think that the pear's going to get so wide. And even in orchards, they put them like relatively close together. I do have, theoretically at this point, 3 clematis plants. So I was thinking maybe an arch there, but it's red and I don't know. I did see, however, a red with a purple. So I think probably one of the clematis is going to go over there eventually. So, yeah. Anyway, this has been a lot of fun. Yeah, I didn't think I was going to get all this much done, or I was going to do all this much, I should say. But I guess I did. Yeah. Finally, this is the first one I'm noticing, but the cherry is flowering, and I really enjoyed this. August Beauty, Autumn Beauty, August Beauty, I think it is. Um, Gardenia. It stayed green like the whole winter. So, but here goes the cherry looking super great. And there goes another one, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Exciting times. Exciting times. There's overlap, but there's a little gap here. If I put a brick here, it'll be a little better, not super great. But I think I'm going to take this surplus brick and do just that. Oh, shoot. I think I put everything away. I probably should come over here and clear up as much as I can for the pink princess. Called something showy pink princess primrose. And it's funny because I say getting rid of the native yellow common whatever primrose, but yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry, but the way I screamed, look at how thick this asparagus is. Wow. Wow. And I see another one coming up over here. Oh, wow. I gotta go tell my mother.